I use stories to create better understanding. So the first thing I would do is I would look at where I think people are going to struggle in understanding something. So for example, this is a true story because it happened this morning. I was going through this process. I'm trying to figure out an analogy, just kind of a story, right? For understanding how learning works, how we retain information, right? How learning development works, right? And I was like, okay, if I explain it, talk about spacing, interleaving, varied, the illusion of knowing, all this stuff, people are going to go, ugh, I don't get it. So then I said, oh, I know. And then I came up with this thought about an iPhone, right? I said the iPhone is the operating system. The app are things you know how to do, right? Or things you want to do, right? That's an iPhone, right? You just scan. I want to check my schedule. I want to do this. I want to look at the weather, whatever it may be. We open up apps when we want to solve a problem, right? And then I said, well, then I can draw an analogy how the brain is like a smartphone. I called it the iBrain in this presentation I'm building. And I'm drawing the iPhone analogy to the iBrain. People go, okay, I'm with you so far, Victor. iPhone, iBrain, right? And inside your brain, you have different applications that you're going to call upon to actually execute some type of task. Cold calling, for example, prospecting, presentation, right? Whatever it may be, demo. And so in that application, there's skill, there's knowledge, right? And there's past experience. So all of a sudden, people start going, oh, that's how it works. I said, the more skills you have, the more skills you develop, the more apps you put on your phone, the more functionality you'll have, the more things you'll be able to solve. So learning is like just adding new apps. So every time you learn something, you either update, delete, or create a new app. That's what you're doing. My question to you is, and I will turn this to the audience, this is what I'm working on now, is how many people here have stopped downloading any apps in their brain? Just to get the learning aspect of it. And so that's one example of me trying to work something out as of this morning, a way of explaining how learning works and why there's value in learning. Now, if I just said to you, learning is important, we have to continue learning every day, you're going to be like, that's what everybody says, right? Because people are going to, I know. But as soon as I gave you a visual iPhone to iBrain, you go, oh, that's a different concept. And then I talk about apps being knowledge, experience, skill sets. Oh, and so it pulls, okay. And then you can add apps. If you don't use them, you just delete them, whatever it may be. People go, oh, okay, I get it. So to answer your question, one way is to use analogies. There's nothing wrong with using analogies. So I would step back and say, where do I think people are going to have a hard time comprehending what my product or service does? Then, can I use an analogy? Yeah, I think I can do it. If not, then can I use a story?